everyone, it's Maria here. Okay, so this is a Pagan Tag video. I first viewed it via Moonlit Opal, and then I checked out Houston's, I think, yes, Houston Hammond. I checked out his Pagan Tag is from him, and I think it was originally from List of the Pagan, so I'll tag them, or I'll leave a link to them all, down below down there. But I haven't done Pagan Tag in forever, and when I saw Moonlit Opal's video, I was like, I can't resist. I gotta do one. But I don't know, these videos are always exciting because, you like sharing a bit about yourself and hearing about other people and stuff, what correlates and everything, what everyone has in common, and it's a nice way to bring everyone back together, in the YouTube community. But, okay, so there are 12 questions, so bear with me. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Okay, what is your spirituality? Now this is a complicated question because I'm in dabbling mode right now. Dabbling. Ooh. I don't know why that's funny. Okay, I'm dabbling. But I do consider myself a witch. I've been a practicing witch, or been outrightly, calling myself a practicing witch for the past 2-3 years now. I was Wiccan for a really long time, and then Pagan, and I do consider myself a witch. Earth magic is mainly what I do, earth, natural, herbal, stones, ground, dirt magic, ocean magic as well. Though I do possess, my spirituality, it's a very unique blend, I guess. It's something that works for me, but I do pull some things from Pagan, Wiccan tradition. I believe in a great spirit, kind of like the way Native Americans or a lot of tribal, shamanic, animistic cultures believe in a great spirit who's neither male nor female, but can be viewed in different aspects, or is viewed by different aspects by different religions. So, I believe, goddess and god are aspects of the great spirit. I believe, any deity people look at or worship, whether it be a Christian god or, Hindu gods, they're all aspects of the great spirit that people just take onto themselves because they find comfort in that form of the deity. But in that sense, I do honor the goddess and god just because, I'm a woman. I honor the feminine side of me, but I also honor the masculine side of me as well, and so I do that through honoring the goddess and god. But I do hold very high animistic, pantheistic beliefs. I do believe that the earth is a living, breathing, goddess, a deity that's part of the great spirit, and through the earth we're connected to the great spirit kind of thing, that we're all connected, because I believe the great spirit is what connects all of us. We all have a bit of the great spirit in us. We're all aspects of the great spirit, and so is the earth. So the earth is living and breathing, and so is the universe. So we're all living, breathing brothers and sisters. But I do believe I hold very high animistic, pantheistic views in my spirituality. My favorite herb, I have to say my favorite herb is probably rosemary. I love the smell of it. I use it in almost everything. And even when I cook with it, it's just great. It's good all around, protection and luck and stuff like that, and it smells really good. But I like rosemary. I do also like, I do also like sage, white sage. I do use that a lot as well. And lavender. I do like those a lot, but rosemary is my ultimate favorite. I use it all the time and I always loved it. Okay, favorite crystal. My favorite crystal is my power pouch right now, but I do have a lot. My favorite type of crystal, okay, so I have 2 favorite types of crystals, and luckily for me they're in the same crystal family, so it makes a lot of sense, I guess. But labradorite is my ultimate favorite stone. It's just amazing. I love it. It's so pretty. I wish I had mine out, but the only one I have is in my power pouch. But it's a really pretty stone because at first it's it looks like either blue, green, brown, really dull looking, but you shine it in the light, it has these specks of orange and blues and greens and yellows, and sometimes, oh wait, I do have labradorite. cool exciting. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stay on my bed. This one isn't the color labradorite that I usually like, but this one is similar. Like, okay, you can see all the shimmers and the shine in it. It's like purple and blue. Ah, it's so pretty. This is why I love labradorite. But my ultimate favorite type is not the the purplish kind like this, but I like the ones that are blue, that have the blue-green specks of color in them. That is so cool. That's one thing I like about a lot. Does the back have any? No, it had all, like, a little bit. It all depends on the way it's cut too and tumbled. But labradorite's my ultimate favorite. And some pieces are really pretty because they have orange and blue and greens, and those are like all my favorite colors. And then my second favorite is citrine. I just love the energy and the feel of it, and the cleansing energy is so powerful. But I think they're like in the same kind of stone family, I guess. I read it up somewhere. And also I like labradorite. Also, labradorite is like a stone for like Leos, and I'm like triple Leo, but we'll get into that later. But I love labradorite and citrine are my two favorites. And then I do like clear quartz just because it's an all-around, you know, good for anything stone, because it amplifies the energies of the stones around it, and so I always use that in everything too. Okay, my favorite oil. Now, like Moonlit Opal said, I don't really have a necessarily favorite oil. Like one, like it's an essential oil, pure oil. My favorite oil I still have, I got from 2 years ago. It's Earth Warrior that Moonlit Opal's mentor, Michelle's mentor, made when I went to the Earth Warriors Festival 2 years ago. And I love the smell of it. And I use it sparingly because I love it so much. I don't want to use all of it, and it just smells so good. It's a blend of that one. That one I like that one, and Mating Ritual. Because what's cool about Mating Ritual is that it works with your hormones and your chemistry. And you put it on, it smells different on everyone. And Michelle, Chris, and I, when we try it on, we're all like, oh, you know, it's amazing how it works with your own body chemistry and makes it smell really different. It's really cool. Okay. Gods and goddesses you connect with. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yes, gods and goddesses that I connect with. I guess I'll go into my matron, my patron. My matron goddess is Hecate, and it's been Hecate for about almost 2 years now. She's my matron goddess. And then my patron goddess Shiva. Now, Shiva is the only god I've ever had a really true connection to, because I tried, you know, the Green Man. I tried Poseidon, Neptune, however you wish to call him. But even though I do love the ocean, which is what Poseidon, Neptune, you know, is about, I just never really had a true connection to any of the male deities I worked with until I came across Shiva. I love Shiva. He's I'm probably not gonna let him go for a long time, or pray he doesn't let me go, because he's amazing, 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 amazing. He is, people, what I like about him is that people often mistake him for just, you know, he's considered the destroyer, yes, but he has come a long way. Like, if you read the story about Shiva, originally, you know, he was this untamed, unruly person, or deity, who didn't like people, and so he hid out in a cave until his, oh god, I can't think of her name right now. I think it's Durga. Yes. Is she Durga? No, it's not Durga. I'm sorry, I'm getting my Hindu deities mixed up because there's so many of them. But his now wife, until she came to him and, you know, finally wooed him and stuff. Even then, he was like a brash young individual, but he went to a cave, he achieved enlightenment, so he's considered like an enlightened deity, an enlightened being. And what's cool about him is that without him, there are no new beginnings, because he is the deity of destruction. And in a lot of his, like, if you see him as a dancer, because he's pictured in two ways, either in like seated position, and, you know, as being enlightened, meditating, you know, reaching, you know, enlightenment and becoming one with the universe, or as in his dancing stance, where he has a drum, he's dancing on top of a demon, and that signifies that he's dancing and destroying the world, destroying the evils and the bads of the world, and destroying the world in order for there to be new beginnings, new good things coming in. And that's what I like about him, because he brings good things in your life. He destroys the bad things and the things that are unnecessary and are holding you back in your life in order to make room for growth. which is what I like about him, because that's always a good thing. Not always easy, or you know, the smoothest course to take, but I feel it's very necessary in order to become a better person, more enlightened, you know, more spiritually in tune with everything. My matron is Hecate. Like I said, I've been with her for almost 2 years, or about 2 years, a little bit over 2 years. But what was really interesting about her when I first started on my path around 6-7 years ago, I came across her name and I just felt a connection. And then I read up on her, and what I read up on was it was like, I can't remember which book it was. I think it was Wicca. It wasn't Wicca for Dummies, but it was Idiot's Guide to Wicca and Witchcraft. And I think in it was like a really biased, bad view of her being like a dark being of, it just made her seem really bad and evil, like the description of it. And so I got scared, and so I was like, oh man, I can't have a connection with her because, oh shit, you know, that's bad. And I was only like 13, 14 at the time, so I was very new to it, so I didn't know any better. And so I worked with other deities before her, but I came back to her, and I'm glad I did, because she's helped me learn a lot, and I've gotten in touch with my shadow self and learned a lot. And I don't know if it's because of her, or I did have like work with hell a little bit, but 2013, late 2012, almost all of 2013 was not a very good year for me spiritually. I just kind of went dormant. I stopped talking to people who are spiritual. I stopped doing things that are spiritual. I put away all my stuff. I don't know why. It just like gradually just started coming on my life, and then one day it's just like, no. And then I was scared to go back, and fear and all this stuff. And that's back in my confessions video. But this isn't me. I hope this isn't real. There's no time thing on my camera, so I don't know how long I am. But I'll try to hurry up. But and when I look back on it, I think it was a necessary part of me, and so I think she's been through with me a lot, and I connect with her a lot. She's a very strong force in my life. But also, another goddess that I honor a lot is the goddess Bastet, or Bash. She's a cat goddess. I worked with her for 4 years. I still have a strong connection to her. I still honor her. I still have like a little altar over there I made out of an old jewelry box. But she helps me connect to my playful, fun side, you know, and the motherly side and all that stuff. And so I will always honor her. Okay. Favorite pagan YouTuber? I don't really have like one favorite. I have a lot of people that I watch. 2 YouTubers I mainly watch are Invoking the Balance and Moon Opal. I love their videos to death. They're freaking awesome, so you guys should check them out. I love Lunar Wisdom. Her videos are really awesome and very informative and stuff, and she did a really cool tarot reading for me. That's a lot. And then what else? I can't remember, because like a lot of the old YouTubers I used to watch don't make videos anymore, and so it's like I can't really pull up their names on top of my head. But I do like the Sea Priestess, Annika. She's she's also part of Oathbound Secrets, but her videos are always really cool. And Jeremy, Jeremy, I can't say your last name, please don't kill me. But his videos are really cool too. Okay. Am I creative? Yes, I guess, in the sense that when it comes to my craft, I make like herbal sachets and pillows and stuff. I sometimes draw. I really do. I like to say I can do pretty decent like landscape, still life stuff, but I have to see it and sketch something because I have no creativity in that sense. And knitting, I do like to knit. I knit. Favorite Sabbath and season? Okay. My favorite Sabbath are in bulk, because it's like awakening, coming back to the spring, life coming back again, and Samhain because, you know, I connect to my ancestors, and it's just like the veil is thin, so it feels really magical in the air and really cool. But my favorite season is summer. Maybe it's because I'm a July baby and I'm half Filipino, but I love the heat. I love wearing as minimal clothes as possible because I hate layers and I hate jeans and socks and all that stuff. If I could run around in a bikini all day, I probably would, because it's the least amount of clothes I can get away with wearing in public. But I love the summer, and I love hot and mustiness and even humidity, even though it makes my hair look like I have an afro. I love it. Okay, again. How am I spiritual in everyday life? I'm gonna have to go with Moonlit Opal because I try to integrate spirituality in everyday life. I mean, I do morning prayers, night prayers, I do my card readings, I reflect on the goddess and God and the Great Spirit, and I go out in nature and I'm just like, oh, and like connect with the tree spirits and the plant spirits whenever I walk past them, touch them kind of thing. And just little things like that, and when you do stuff like that every day and all the little things add up and just makes your entire life just not mundane at all, just spiritual. Except when I, play Skyrim or Oblivion. Do I eat meat, eggs, and dairy? Eggs and dairy I love a lot. I love cheese, sharp cheddar especially. Buy a block of it, it'll probably be gone in like a day. But meat I do eat a lot, but lately since I've been doing yoga and juicing, I kind of been craving less and less of it. I do like bacon and red meat a lot. And fish. I'm not a big fan of chicken or pork, but I do eat it, like, but not as much as I used to. I used to have to eat red meat every day, but now I'm just like, I can go like almost a week without eating red meat. I'll be fine, but eventually I'll start craving it again. But maybe it's because of my blood type. I'm type O positive, and from what I've heard and what my mother's told me, we crave meat a lot. My favorite pagan book? Okay. I have 2 favorite pagan books. First of all is Sea Magic. If you don't know, I'm obsessed with the ocean. I'm obsessed with mermaids. I swear I was a mermaid in past life because I could just lay in the ocean and float on my back and not come home. If I could be a mermaid, I probably would. I'd be like, bye! But I love this book so much. I actually made a Sea Witches bottle from this book, and it's in my room, and what's really cool about it is like I have like there's like life in it because like algae or something grew in it, but like it's like sea algae. It's like it's really cool. I don't know, but I love sea magic. I love the ocean. I love mermaids. My favorite sea animal, or my sea fetch as they're called, is a jellyfish. I love jellyfish. And earth power, because I love simplicity. I love just using what the earth has provided me already out in nature for my works. And so like herbs, especially herbs, stones, stuff like that. I love earth magic, and I feel like for me it's the most powerful way to conduct a spell or connect with the earth goddess. Are you like astrological sign? Okay. I'm told I'm not like my astrological sign at all. My moon, sun, and rising sign are all Leo, but majority of my planets when I was born were Capricorn, and a lot of people don't expect me to be a Leo. They don't think I'm a Leo or a fire sign. They, I guess maybe more or less Capricorn, more earthy and more laid back, but I guess that'd be a good thing because I think having all 3 signs in Leo is pretty overwhelming if that was just it. But no, I don't think I am. In some aspects I do. Like, when I meet new people, I kind of take on like a Leo personality. I'm just like, want to show off and stuff because I try to impress people and, like, hey, look at me sometimes. But once I get over that, I, chill and lay back. And when I'm with people now, I'm just like, yeah. So, like, it depends on the situation. But majority of the times, I don't think I am. A lot of people, when they first see me, or meet me, they don't think I'm a Leo or fire sign, so I guess not. But this is really fun. I'm sure this is really long right now. Yikes, I'm sorry, but I get carried away and I get excited, and I'm just like, oh, I want to share everything. But this is really exciting. I want to post links to Moonlit Opal, Lissa the Pagan, and Houston Hallman down there because they're the ones who posted the videos before me. But I would love to see you guys' videos. Please, please, please. Because I think this is a really good way for all of us to reconnect in the, pagan YouTube community. But this will be pretty awesome. I love you guys. Namaste. Blessed be.